everybody. It's Carpo. In this noisy environment, just listen to it for a minute. I have a purpose. I have a reason behind this. I'm taking lunch at work. Decided to come to the park next door in Southeast Portland. It's a very nice park. A lot of trees, ballpark, all that kind of stuff. But it's right next to the road. And you know, I didn't even really think about it until the other day when I made a video in my backyard. I was like, listen to the birds chirp or something like that. It was about a month ago. And George Wachowski, of course, says, all I can hear is the damn highway. And I thought to myself, well, goddamn, he's right. That's true, and I live pretty far away. I mean, I live near Mill Plain Boulevard, which is semi-busy, but there's traffic lights, so it's not too crazy. But I'm about a half mile away from the freeway, and you can still hear it. And I'd be damned if he wasn't completely right. I don't even notice that stuff. And you become exposed to a certain level of noise, and it just becomes the norm. I asked my mom. When I was a kid, she used to sit at the dinner table and read a book while everybody made noise around her. I asked her one time, how the hell do you do that? You know, and she said, oh, you just phase it out. And I did not understand. And she came over to my house recently and was like, music going, kids talking, crying. Yeah, she's not exposed anymore. Her brain has taken a completely different path of, programming, and because she's been living alone for so long. And it really got me thinking about, more exposure levels of different factors of life that make you phase out other things. Like, I don't even hear the noise. I hear the birds. George hears the noise, right? Because he lives out in the country. He's got a, quiet area to live in where he can get exposed to the quiet. I'm thinking to myself, God, I wish I had that. I mean, that's my dream, is to, move on, be able to afford to get a farm. I mean, the noise just, I guess I've learned to become ignorant of it. That could be, ignorant is nothing more than ignoring the facts. And the fact is, it's annoying. And I'm ignoring that. I'm right next to a highway, like 30 feet. I mean, the park just goes right up to it. And it's like, but I can still sit here and look around and enjoy it. I mean, look at this. Okay. There's the highway. And earlier there was a bulldozer over there going. The park is just beautiful. I mean, it's a nice park. It's been here for a long time. Clouds are gorgeous today. None of the details bother me. None of the noise factors, really. And I don't know. I don't know if that's really, if I can get my point across there, but my original video was just to say, hey, look at the noise. It's crazy that you can enjoy a park and the noise, but you got me thinking about that thing with George and people who point out things that we're not aware of, and I'm not aware of a lot of things in my life that bother me, such as negativity being pushed my way, let's say. Sometimes you notice it, and sometimes it's annoying, sometimes you just push it away. We all have our own levels that we'll tolerate of, all these different facts that are coming at us, all these different senses. For example, Camas, Washington is a really stinky place, and it's about 10 miles down or up the Columbia River. So when the eastern winds come down through the gorge, they have a paper mill out there, and it stinks. I fucking hate paper mills. And it pushes that smell all the way down to Portland, and I smell it in Vancouver. You don't usually smell it all the way to Portland, but I live right where the Columbia and the Willamette merge. So all of that, air circulates around, and it stinks in the evening sometimes in the summer. And I think, poor people in Camas that have to deal with it every day. But I've talked to people from Camas. They don't even notice it. Of course not, because they live in it. And there's plenty of people who live near factories and chemical plants that the noxious odors you become immune to them. And sometimes it's because it destroys your senses, but other times it's just because your body learns to cope. It's just the same way as when you have pain. I have chronic pain, and I've learned to deal with it to the point where I don't even notice it. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, it hurt. Right now, when I walk to my car, I was like, thank you to the universe, because I feel good. My back doesn't hurt. It's the first time in, months, and before that a couple of years. But I have a toothache, and it's a give and a take. But I'm happy to at least be acknowledged when things are going my way and start to, I guess, appreciate the things that I have when I have them, such as quiet. Because I never appreciate solitude until I'm there, up in the mountains. I like to go hiking, backpacking, and I love to just go up for, 2 or 3 days, go up to hike up to a lake somewhere and just sit, if I can. I never get the chance to do it, but that silence, that utter silence, and it reminds me of one place in Eastern Oregon where I traveled to, and it was a place that had these lava beds. They were like fresh lava beds within 1,000 years, and there's very little plant life on it, so there's very, very few birds, very few animals yet, and you can just park your car on the side of the road and just sit and listen. It's total, utter silence. It's deafening. If anybody's ever been to deafening silence, they know what I'm talking about. You question your own hearing ability. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, I better get back to work. Lunch is over. Enjoy the solitude and the quiet if you have it. Appreciate it for what it is, because this is the kind of shit that we have to contend with when we live in the city. Peace.